Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Always good to see you. And yeah, what are we doing today? Probably doing a little bit more work on the combat log. I think it's mostly good. I had originally mentioned that the combat log was probably not going to make it into the playtest, but since it's basically done, it just needs some UI work. I might as well include it. And then there's some other menus and stuff to work on. So maybe we'll do a little bit of work on the combat log, but maybe we'll also work on some of the menus that I mentioned. I'll show you the updated main menu, and then I also need like a defeat screen and like a victory screen, just very basic stuff to create a loop essentially, so that you don't just like defeat the boss at the end and then nothing happens. So, but yeah, all of this is in service of getting the build into a playtest state, which it's basically there. It's missing a few sound effects, it's missing those menus and whatnot, but why is my freaking hair so bad today? Jeepers. Anyway, but before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis, the Steam page for this game, is up, so you can go ahead and wishlist that now. If you want to wishlist, I'd appreciate that. And yeah, the Steam page, I'm going to update this later too with some videos and stuff, but it's good for now. I also have Gunforged, but we don't care about Gunforged anymore, like I said. And also, I've got my Udemy courses available for sale that will teach you how to build complete cooperative multiplayer. Well, this one teaches you how to build a complete cooperative online multiplayer course, but I have other courses as well. So those are linked in the description below. Thank you in advance for checking that out. And also, let me just see something. Okay, yeah, I've still got the wishlist Alchemortis in the stream. Good. All right. So let's say hello to everybody before we get into it. Starting to get worried, yeah. I was actually like on time today instead of early. Hello, Ben. Welcome back. You were not first, I'm sorry to say. Hello, Emerson. Crazy Golden Apple, welcome back. Welcome back, V. Sam Studio, hello, good to see you. Meep and Rookie Tookie, welcome to everyone. Jack Case, hello. Just started working on a casual puzzly game in Godot and have been referencing your videos. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, Jack. I'm doing well. Hello, Cass. Welcome back. It's time for Game Dev once again. Hello, Jackie Daytona. I used your suggestion of using a limited color palette. It helped me a lot. Good. I'm glad to hear that. New Stream UI chat thingy. Yeah. Stream UI has undergone some changes here. Hello, Gosen Pride. Welcome, welcome. If you're not 50 minutes early, you are 5 minutes late. Yeah, guess so. I guess so. Anyway, so let me show you the menu here. I don't know if I showed this. Did I do this last night? I don't remember. But I integrated the new menu. There's like a little, playtest notification here. But yeah, we got the sun in the background. I just animated the clouds with a simple noise shader like usual. And yeah, these are the buttons to start, or I don't know what this one is going to do yet, but anyway, so you can go to start here and then that will load up the game. And there you are into the map. So obviously there's like a lack of a tutorial and everything. Maybe I'll have like a tutorial screen here, but yeah. I'm assuming most people who are going to do the playtest are going to understand generally how to play the game, but maybe I'll just do a simple series of tutorial screens. Maybe I should write that down. Oops. Did that do anything? Okay, add a few tutorial screens to the beginning. I think the combat log is done. Well, we need to do the combat log UI now. I'll just go ahead and put this here, combat log UI. I think the main menu is basically done, so I'm going to mark that as done. But yeah, so that's how it looks. I think the menu looks pretty good. It looks better than it did before. Was reloading my YouTube homepage awaiting the stream. Awesome, I'm glad to hear that. Menu looks great, thank you. So here's the menu again. Hello, Johan, welcome back. Good to see you again. I like your feeling of the color, thank you. Yeah, I think it works. I think it works. I might do a couple more decorations out here, but yeah, should be good. Maybe this will be the quit button. Actually, maybe I'll do that because it's a skull. It's like death. So let's do that while I'm thinking of it. It's going to be a little bit of a scattered stream, I guess. Oh, I've called this unknown button. Let's just call this quit button. Node, private, clickable, control, no, quit, clickable, control. Does that work? The skull is the quit button, I gotta say it. Quit while you're ahead? Oh my gosh. I think that's one of your finest jokes yet, Adam. Okay. Get this out of here. Label. Oops. Are you not going to put the game's name on the main menu? I am, I just haven't decided how to do that yet. I think I might just do it with like blue text up here. I need to figure out how to add even more life to this menu. Particles and maybe the trees swaying if I can do that. But yeah, I just have to think about that. But I'm going to, I think. Cool. All right, so make pike skull quit. So I did merge the combat log changes into the master branch, so I'm not on a separate branch anymore because the combat log is basically done. I just have it hidden right now. So what I want to do, maybe I can get your thoughts on this. Where should I actually put the combat? Like, so I'm thinking there's a couple of things to do. Oh, shoot. Let's see. So we need a way to toggle the combat log. Let's skip the menu. So we need a way to toggle the combat log. We probably need a way to expand the combat log as well. So let me just get some logs in here. So it does get this scroll bar here, which probably has to change as well. Make it a little bit more of a minimal scroll bar, probably. And obviously, I don't think... I mean, it shouldn't float out here either. So... I mean, I wonder if it could just be another slide out tab here. You know what I mean? Put another tab similar to like this inventory tab here that you can click to slide it out. Might be kind of weird though. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Oh, I had to text over the combat log again. Here's the combat log. Any thoughts on it? Grinding. Yeah, welcome back, Neozoid. Git commit -m quit while you're ahead. Yep. Welcome, BK. What have you been up to the last 3 weeks? Mostly side stuff or also game loop stuff? Well, last 3 weeks, I made a big change to the map. I don't know if that, like there's a fog of war. That probably happened within the last 3 weeks. So there's a fog of war now. I changed some of the map art a little bit and changed this wanted level, how this functions. A black cat card. I already have a cat, but It's a good suggestion. Something like BG3 where there's a little button on the side to hide show. Yeah, I'm thinking that for sure. A lot more dynamic looking. Thank you. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, maybe just another tab, or I guess it could just be a button here, like a floating button or something. I don't know if that would look weird. I almost want to make it like a slide out panel. I'm gonna have to get all my panel art in place. Hello, A the Ant, welcome back. Always good to see you. So let's see, maybe I'll just try that to start. Please make this work for the Steam Deck. I'm not behind my PC often anymore. Thought we were calling it notoriety. Yeah, I think so. I just haven't added that verbiage into the game. All right. Shoot. Well, I guess let's go find this tab here. Assets UI drawer. Rename this to inventory button icon. So how big is this? This is roughly, it fits within a 16 by 16 square. So let's do a combat log icon. We'll just do this to start, and then we'll figure out. Oof. I see. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I'm thinking... This is going to be hard. I'm thinking like a... Ah, shoot. Lock all these so I don't accidentally draw on them anymore. So I'm thinking like a scroll with a sword over it might be a good icon. Maybe not. Okay. That might work. Let's see, what colors am I using? I am using this. Okay, that works. That might work. I don't know. I don't really like this section down here. I think that works. What in the heck? All right. Outline it. I think that'll work just fine. Okay. Could the combat log also total up the values to show at the end of combat, like how the Bazaar does it, so the player can tell what was doing at a glance? Yeah, I could definitely do that, I'm sure. Bananas or berries? I suppose that's true. Yummers, welcome back, Snupbill. Always good to see you. Look at all these yummers. We love the yummers, don't we, folks? Maybe a book? Yeah, I think a scroll works. I was thinking instead of a log, you could do a rundown of that combat that you can read at the end to see how your build is doing. Character limit means I'll have to send this in sections. Oh, that's okay. So for example, under each board would be damage done, healing done. Instead of looking at through a list, you could get a status breakdown of the combat that just happened. That way it is more digestible for the player. Oh, my damage taken is huge. I really need to focus on that going forward. Yeah, I think like a post-combat summary that you could open up if you want would be good. I think the combat log serves a slightly different purpose, which is that while the combat is happening, you can see what's going on. And then I could present both. Like I could present the full combat log as well as like a summary of, you know, I think it would be useful to include like how many times each particular card executed, right? And what was the total damage dealt? What was the total poison applied? What was the total fire applied? How much total health damage did you take? How much total health damage did you, or how much total did you heal? I think that would be very useful. But I still think, yeah, combat log can be useful in the sense of like, it's like a running log of what's going on while you're in the combat. So if you ever wanted to pause the combat and just take a look at it, you can. How do you make the pixel art look so good with a limited palette, especially when it comes to shading texture? A lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error, which I know is not a super great answer, but generally speaking, a well put together color palette will have colors that you can use for highlights and colors that you can use for shadows. So you kind of just have to play with it a little bit. Can't wait to get to the point where I can stop making systems and just start making content. Yeah. In my experience, though, the system work never really stops, because you always want to add that one thing that doesn't quite fit into all the frameworks you've built, and so you got to extend and whatnot. I'm a software developer, but I find modeling and texturing much more therapeutic, even though I'm still learning. Yeah, I can understand that. Personally, I started with the art design for my game before the programming, as it helps visualize the end result. Yeah. But now the need for implementing mechanics has caught up with me. Yep. Systems is low-key pretty hard. For me, it got a vendor system, movement, inventory, interaction, a bunch of others, since I've just been relegated as a game programmer for the team. Do you guys watch videos or just wing it? Well, I think when you have a certain level of experience, building the systems becomes easier. I think when you're building the systems, it helps to think of them as like multiple different sets of APIs, right? And then it's like you've got a bunch of these modular systems that can interact with each other through like a public-facing API. So if you have an inventory system, it's got all of its internal details that are a black box to the rest of the game. And the way that the game interacts with the inventory is by saying, hey, inventory, I want to add this item to the next inventory slot. Or, hey, inventory, I want to grab the first item of this type. Or, hey, inventory, how many of this type of item do I have? Or, hey, inventory, sort your inventory, right? Will there be ways to mod Alchemortis? I'm sorry to say I don't even know how to implement mod support. I think I would probably need to build some kind of framework. My impression is that would be a Herculean undertaking, but maybe there's a way to do it. I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to release probably a separate app with all of the things that you can make, like if you wanted to make new cards, and then have some way of like saving that in a format that could be shared over the Steam Workshop. Yeah, I have no clue how to do that. It's definitely not on my radar right now. That will be a problem that I address if this game becomes massively successful. Okay, anyway, I think this is okay now. Why do I keep doing that? There's a screenshot button on my keyboard that's right next to the backspace button. Combat log. Okay. What about a pause icon? Clicking it on it pauses the game. Okay, all right. Jude Murray has the same thought. I'm doing the opposite. I'm stopping myself from making art before I get the basics in place. Right now I have lots of Godot logos with colored squares over them to differentiate. Yeah, I think it's mostly a matter of like whatever works best for you. I certainly like to visualize the stuff that I'm making. I find it easier to get excited about the game too when I can actually see like some art and some particles. White boxing or Godot logo boxing doesn't do it for me. But ideally, wouldn't a player want to watch the animations combat to know what's happening? And while a combat log provides more detail, you get too much precise detail. Yeah, I mean the combat log is an optional thing. Like I'm assuming a lot of people aren't going to look at the combat log unless they just want to take a quick look at it. But then I think there are going to be people that like watching the combat log more. I think it's just, you know, it's one of those things that's a nice to have. I think players will probably play the game in the way that they enjoy the most. Managed to implement breadth first traversal of a 2D grid to detect groups of like objects for a matching game. Very nice. Systems equals microservices. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I appreciate it. You already have a cat? Can I see? Oh yeah, it's let's see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it that well here. But this is the cat. Can you see that art? Do you have any custom A-Sprite scripts? I find it tedious to go unhide all the layers to export a sprite sheet. Yeah, there's one that I used, GASPI. I forgot how to find it, but that was a script that I was using on my old PC quite a bit. I just haven't ported it over yet. And as it's toggleable, if it's in addition to the end of combat summary, then it's probably only a good thing. Yeah, and this will be stuff I can get from the playtest too. You know, if people are spending too much time obsessing over the combat log, then I could just move that to like a post-combat summary instead. Gray boxing just doesn't work for me. I'll do it if I know something will take weeks without knowing if it will work or not. You like the cat? Or rather just do the thing and make it look decent immediately. Yeah, I'm the same way. Might not be the most efficient way of doing things, but it's all right. I think since game development is really, it's basically a creative exercise. I don't think there's really a right or wrong way of going through the process of building it. Okay, so anyway, we need to add this. So we got pass-through control. So I'm gonna need, okay, so this is, so that's the inventory pass-through control, artifact pass-through control, board pass-through control. We're gonna add another pass-through control. What is this margin container? Oh. This combat log container is going to have to go, but that's all right. This will be the combat log pass-through control. We're going to add a margin container. This is going to have a margin left of 102. Where do I want to put this? What is this? Let's hide that for now. So this VBox container, layout, container sizing, shrink end, shrink begin. This combat log container here, this has to have a margin left of 8. This is going to have to change quite a bit. But now we've got this tab here, which might be a little bit awkward, but we'll figure it out. This needs to be combat log icon. Then in this container here, I think I want to change this type to a panel container. Panel container, type variation, bone border left. We'll just do the bone border for now. I might cheat a little bit. I'm gonna cheat. You can do negative margins on margin containers. I don't know if people know this, but theme overrides constants margin left. Ah, shoot. Now it's not gonna render behind. Well, actually, I can move this here. There we go. I gotta get my borders in order, but that'll work. Okay, so basically all this stuff now, actually not all the stuff, just those things. Set that to mouse ignore. This is the combat log. We're gonna need to mark that as a unique name. I think I did this wrong. I think I did this wrong because this tab here needs to be... Let's see. It needs to be stuck to the drawer. I think if I run this, it's probably just going to remain floating out there. Oh, wait, this UI is very complex. Yeah, see? But when I expand it, it looks great. Okay, got some more work to do. Just a question, what would be the best way for me to place my card on a slot and then summon dice, and when I remove it from the slot, the dice should disappear? I use GDScript. So the way that I would probably do it is I would have like a dice manager script. So I'd have a dice manager script that can listen for a signal card placed at slot, right? So you can emit a signal when a card gets placed on a slot. As a signal argument, I would emit also a reference to the card that was placed. Or maybe you don't even need that. Let's say that you have signals that tell you when a card has been added to a slot and when a card has been removed from the slot. And both of those signals pass along the card that's in question. Then you could have a dice manager that will listen for that signal when a card is placed. The dice manager will create the dice. And then, since it has a reference to the card, you can associate that card with the dice in some way, probably another signal connection. And then what the dice can do is the dice can listen for when a card gets removed from a slot. When the card gets removed from the slot, the dice can compare that to the card that they're registered to. And if those two references are equal, then the dice can free themselves. That's generally the approach that I would take there. So yeah, that's my general idea. Vibe code it. Huge teams, there might be a benefit to outlining planning. Yeah. Yeah, I think big teams is a different dynamic. You could use WASI and create an interface for people to use to create methods. That way people can write their own mods in whatever language they want and convert to WASM modules. That would have to be web though, right? I don't know if that works for desktop. Imagine community DLC for this game. I know, it would be cool. Let's get to the point where this game is so successful that I have that problem first. We will burn that bridge when we get there. Hello, Edo Makes Games. Welcome back. Always good to see you. How many of us are just software devs who want freeing from having to work with people that work differently than us? Yep, I'm definitely that way. Guilty as charged. I'm on vacation, so I'm not going to watch, but great name. Oh, thank you, Edo. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Others can see the vision in my head, therefore won't do properly. Why do it at all? Yeah, if you want something done right, do it yourself. My man Fred Durst used to say that. Let's see. Bit of a strong opinion, but I understand that some prefer teams. Yeah, I do like working on smaller teams, even when I was a professional software engineer. Health vials have 2 left hands. Oh, yeah, this gets changed at runtime. This is just a placeholder. Very nice, Daniel. Should I avoid using getParent and instead do export variables for me to drag and drop in the inspector, or do you prefer self-registering nodes in their owner's metadata and checking owner? I usually avoid getParent because, you know, you're not necessarily guaranteed that the parent is going to be the node you're looking for. So you could imagine, like, if you're doing composition, you could have a situation where a component is nested a couple levels down in your scene rather than at the root of the scene or just under the root of the scene. And if you make the assumption that the root node is always going to be the parent, that can be problematic. If I ever want to get the root node, like the scene owner, I use the owner property. And that typically works pretty well. I have some time now. I'm going to say awesome. You're welcome, Ben. Yeah, export does have that benefit for sure. One of the things I've struggled with most from switching to Unity to Godot is the way that assets are stored. I don't want the script to always be in the same folder as the scene. You don't have to put your script in the same folder as the scene, Carlos. I don't do that. I've got an entirely separate scripts directory that only contains scripts. You can organize your Godot project however you want. There's no dogmatic way of doing it. Welcome to the stream, by the way. After I finished the GMTK Jam game, I made 3 prototypes and platformer win because it's the easiest and most original, I think. Yeah, that's cool. Prototypes are good. Oh. All right, so I gotta reorient this again. Ah. Is this gonna break a lot if I do this? What happened here? I do not understand what's happening. Oh, it's an HBox container. I see. Oops. Ah, shoot. We'll just have to leave it like that for now. There's a lot going on here. All right, I think that should work now. Do I even need that? Can I just move this here? All right, let's see if that works now. That did not work. How am I gonna do this? I might have to do something weird. Yep, I actually don't know how I'm going to do this. If I hide this, I think it works. Yeah, so that button is staying there now with the drawer. It's just that this additional width that's being created by this combat log is, yeah, it's messing up the drawer positioning when it's sliding. How am I going to do this? Interesting. I might have to restructure this stuff. Oh, man. I don't know. Hello, Nepal V. All these AI tools make me depressed, really. Sorry to say. Or sorry to hear that, rather. What am I going to do here? I actually don't know what I'm going to do. I might need a better drawer layout. I don't think I can use remote transform 2D. I need like a remote transform control. That's what I need. There's a hacky way to do this, which I'm not sure I want to do, but it might be necessary. The hacky way involves doing this. Add a control here. $90 in the Y. Make it 90 pixels tall. Container sizing. Shrink begin. Let me put the margin container under that. Oh, 98. That should fix the problem, but it's very hacky. So now that all moves together, and then I can animate this, slide in, slide out, based on whether this is pressed. That looks awkward there too when it's just right up against the edge of the screen. Well, let's just try to get this toggle button working. Combat log toggle button. I should probably break this out into a different scene, actually. Save branch as scene. I'll just put it in here. Okay, so we've got our combat log. Scripts UI drawer, combat log. Public void expand. Public void collapse. Okay, I think this will work. So override void ready, what we'll do is we'll say we need this margin container. Well, I'll just leave it as margin container, I suppose. Margin container dot position is equal to new vector 2 negative margin container dot size dot x 0, and expand, we're going to tween it, probably using the same play expand animation. Okay. Margin container, get collapse position. Return that. And then we'll set here, get collapsed position. That should work. Now my drawer UI, node private combat log, node private texture button, combat log toggle button, I think is what it's called. On combat log button pressed. Okay. Private void on combat log button pressed. Combat log dot toggle. Public void toggle. Private bool is expanded. If not is expanded. Cool. These don't need to be public anymore. Let's see if that much works. But hopeful in a weird way. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the games I'm doing is pretty straightforward with nothing to plan. I'm planning some bigger games just for fun and maybe I sometimes use it. I think if you're just in the prototyping phase, if you're just making a bunch of stuff that you want to make, I think that's fine. Combat-log.toggle. Oh. Gotta make this a unique name. There we go. That node tree stresses me out so much to keep track of. Yeah, it's stressing me out too. But the combat log expanding is working. Oh, no, it's not. Son of a biscuit. Now I have to make this somehow render behind the drawer. Oh, this is a nightmare. You know what I need is I need like a remote transform control. Do control nodes have like a... Let's see. They don't have like a position changed signal, which is fine. Okay. Well, I think I might try to do that actually. So yeah, I think what I need to do in order to get all this ordering working and in order to avoid all this weird positioning stuff, I'm trying to think, what do I want to do here? If I had like a remote control transform that could just like represent a position that this panel needs to be in, but then I can place this panel anywhere and have it render correctly, that would be ideal. I mean, the other fix is to do this. The other fix would be to take these and do visibility show behind parent, but like I don't like doing that because then it's like you got just a bunch of weird settings everywhere. That works though. Oh, I have a problem here. Something is eating my mouse events now. Something is now eating my mouse events. Okay, well, let's... somebody said that there's a way to figure that out. If we go to the debugger here. Clicked controls, combat log pass-through control. Look at that. So when you click on something, it will tell you which control got clicked. So if you're wondering what's eating my mouse events, I can click in here and say, this is not working. It tells me the combat log pass-through control is what's doing it, which is this, which I actually no longer need, so we can just delete it. Look at that, you learn something new every day. Okay. So now let's see if this even works still. It does not work. Errors. Combat log label. All right, so I need to move the combat log functionality over into this script now. This is a mess. It doesn't even look that good either. If you've ever worked with HTML and CSS, that tree looks like a breath of fresh air. Much less bloated layout engine. Yeah, I mean, I do like CSS and HTML, but it can be very, very messy. In full screen, the paper behind the sword looks like a blob. Maybe make it a lighter color than the sword. I can't. I'm using the maximum amount of colors that I can make, that I can use here. I mean, I could make it like orange. Or even just like very dark. But I can't use anything but these 4 colors here. Well, I guess these 5 colors. Anyway, we're not going to worry about the icon right now. A lighter or different color would help. Can work outside the browser with some WASM executors that have been built for it. You just need to package or embed the executor with the game. There's a Godot extension that uses it. Interesting, okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. Can you just increase the z-index of the main panel? I try not to do z-index modifications because that just makes the tree completely unpredictable. So I'm going to try to find a better way of doing this whole drawer, I think. Hello, Dusty. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Always good to see you. Hello, Max Solus. Welcome back. That was you. What was you? Anyway, so I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we got to move the actual functionality of the combat log into the combat log script, which should be relatively easy, but we'll have to make sure that that's the case. But anyway, again, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. It's the first link in the description. Give me just 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we will continue on. Okay, I'm back. Hello, everybody. I was eating the mouse events. Oh, you were. Oh, that's funny. Head out. All right, sounds good. Yeah, see you tomorrow, V. Thanks for joining. So now we got to move the combat log events on over. On combat log added, we're just going to go ahead and slap this over here. We need a combat log label. Private rich text label. Combat log label. And now we got to figure out what in the heck is happening. Combat log manager. Okay, so what we'll do in here, public void register combat log manager. Combat log manager. Okay. We get rid of this. Then we get rid of this rich text label. And I think that's basically it. On combat started. Yeah, so we're going to need to listen for this on combat started as well. All right, that should be it. I think we've ported everything over to that combat log scene now. So all the combat log stuff should be completely isolated to that. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know if I like the placement of that combat log, but I don't know what else to do about it. The art doesn't look that great with that border either. Oh, there's also no messages appearing. No errors either. Oh, I forgot to call, right. I forgot to call register combat manager. There we go. That should work. There we go. Yeah, I mean it's better because now you have like a way to toggle it and everything. So that helps, but the other problem is I'm worried that as the player board gets bigger, it might encroach on the space that the player board is taking up. Yeah. This is going to take some finagling, I think. Eating mouse events sounds bad for your stomach. Yeah, it does. It's looking good. I mean, do we like the positioning of the combat log, or does it need to change? One thing I also don't like, I might just change. Well, let's do this. Actually, what I might do is here, add this margin container. Mouse ignore, theme overrides constants, margin top 8, margin bottom 8. We can put this inside of that. Now this no longer needs this outer margin container. And that also moves that inventory button away from the edge of the screen. Maybe it'll look a little bit nicer. Yeah. Oh, this no longer works. Why did that stop working? Oh. There we go. All right, I'm here. You can start now. All right, yeah, we were waiting for you, Wooius. So now that Wooius is here, what are we going to be working on today? So today we're doing a little bit of combat log stuff. Oh, this is broken now. Son of a biscuit. This is a nightmare. This is a mess. Looks a bit awkward. Instead of pinned to the left and expanding right, maybe it's pinned to the bottom and moves up. But then I need to start introducing tabs along the bottom of the screen. I was kind of hoping I could just have all the UI stuff as part of this drawer here. The position of the combat log buttons looks a bit awkward at that fixed height, that's all. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what to do about this. UI design is my weakness. Much appreciated, yeah. Well, I'm not going to figure out what to do with this for now. I'm going to need to think about this some more, but it's working. It's part of the UI now, so that's good. It's part of the UI now, so that's good. I'm going to have to improve that, but I'm just going to mark it as done for now. I think the whole drawer needs kind of like a pass on art and whatnot. It works, that's what matters, yeah. It does work. But I guess the combat log will be in the playtest now, so that's good. All right, let's see. What else do I need to do? Tutorial screens, game over menu, game victory menu. The tutorial screens would be good to add. Someone whose main job is UI and UX is one of the most complex topics out there. Yeah, I think so. It's deceptively hard. You think, how hard can it be? But especially when you're dealing with space constraints like I am, where you've got a very limited canvas size. You can't just make elements smaller and bigger on a whim. It all has to fit very nicely. I'll have to look up some other combat logs in games for some inspiration, I think. But anyway. Space constraints, OOP complicating things such as a fix in one class can spread out to other controls and have unintended problems. Fun, yep. Yep. That's definitely true. Well, yeah. Let's just find something else to work on for now. I do need to add tutorial screens. I do need a game over situation. Honestly, I might just make it super basic. Good morning, Chris. Welcome, welcome. Always good to see you. I like the Backpack Battles log. The most important information for me, at least, is how synergies interact. What build can be derived from that information. I'll have to take a look at that. All right, so we need some tutorial screens. We need a game over screen. I might just do, honestly, I might just Band-Aid fix it for the playtest. I have this this screen, which is just a dialogue box essentially. I think what I'll do is just put this everywhere. Like I'll make a tutorial sequence out of this and then also the game over. Maybe that would be... I just thought of something. I hope I remember what this means. All right, let's just do a game victory screen. So we're going to duplicate this. Just call it victory notice, I guess. Am I missing something? Header label, there we go. Playtest, build. Let's see. What do I want to say? Join the Discord server to share your thoughts and feedback. Thanks for playing. It's gonna be super, super basic, super rough, but it's just a playtest. And we'll add under here. This is gonna be too big. Oh, that might be fine. As a CTA, does the continue button loop back to the main menu? Maybe a CTA button linking right to the Discord could help. Yeah, there's going to be I have a button here. But I think I also might link the Discord text here. Can I do like a URL? Oh, I need to enable BB code. I can do a URL. Unfortunately, it's not going to be styled very well. And I also can't click it. Why can't I click it? Maybe that doesn't actually make it clickable. Anyway, I'll figure it out, but we're just going to get it working. Just joined. Hello, Seppo. How can we participate in testing? I would love to help and give some feedback. Yeah, so the playtest build will be announced in a couple of weeks when it's ready to go. I'll be distributing the playtest through Steam, I think. I'm pretty sure. And anyone who's going to be a member of my Patreon, which is getting set up at the same time, will get a week or two of early access to the playtest, and then I'll open it up to the public generally. So if you don't want to pay, you will not have to pay to gain access to the playtest. And then, yeah, everyone will be able to join the Discord server. That will also be there, but there will be a Patreon members only section of the Discord as well. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to think what I want to do here. Let's get the victory notice to show up. He. I just want to see if this actually works. Max wanted level equals 1. Will there be fireworks for victory screen? Probably not. I don't want to go overboard with like all the polish and whatnot for the playtest. I just want to get it a complete loop where you can start the game, you can beat the boss, and you can go back to the menu. It's going to be very, very rough around the edges, and that's okay. I'll fix all that stuff later. I don't want to spend a bunch of time making all these temporary screens look and feel really nice, because they're ultimately going to go away anyway. gd.print, did I do something wrong? Oh yeah, that's just how you print things in C# for Godot. Hello, Marcos. I finally discovered a way to telegraph like in Gunforge. The solution is to use viewport and with an outline shader. Yeah, you can use a viewport or a canvas group. I used a canvas group in Gunforged. Take some hours to finally figure it out working. Yeah. Oh, you're using Godot 3. Yeah, then you wouldn't have canvas groups. Yeah. Viewports are the way to do it. Okay, let's just go ahead and go here. Put the God mode here. Okay, so we got he being printed. On combat reward state machine. Now I gotta figure out. Oh man, now I gotta figure out how to actually get this screen into there. Is this even useful? This isn't even a thing anymore. This isn't a thing anymore either. Enter state combat setup. I have no idea how this is working with the boss board. On boss board created. I don't understand what's going on here. Do I need this? On enemy board created is being used in nowhere. Oh joy. I obviously didn't clean this up when I changed a bunch of stuff. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so this is wrong here. This does need to go into state combat preparation. This is so confusing. Let me write something else down. Okay. Enter state boss. Enter state combat victory. Get combat configuration for node. Oh, there is no node. Right. Combat victory. Uh-huh. Right. I'm just going to make this even more of a mess. I'm going to have to rethink this whole state machine, but we'll just do is in boss fight equals true. Combat victory. To do spawn victory notice, else this. Okay, this is a mess. It's okay. It's all right. Don't freak out. What's the difference between canvas group and viewport? A canvas group takes all the nodes that are descendants of it and basically draws it as a single texture. It uses the back buffer, so you have to use like the screen texture when you're doing a canvas group, but it's kind of like a viewport in that it yeah, it just draws everything basically as a single texture for you. But the benefit is that it's still a node 2D, which means that it has a position in space. So a canvas group can maintain transform data. And that's in contrast to like a viewport, where if you want to maintain a specific set of transforms, you have to do a bunch of your own work for that. Any details for playtest? Playtest will be out in a couple of weeks. Obsidian for to-do list. Yeah, so just to repeat, yeah, I am using Obsidian for to-do list, basically Kanban. But yeah, to repeat the playtest stuff, so in 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully sooner, I'm going to release a devlog, the first devlog for this game. I'm going to release the Patreon, I'm going to release the Discord server, and I'm going to release the playtest. The playtest will be available for Patreon subscribers for the first week or 2 only. And then after that, it will also be available for a couple weeks for anyone from the public to playtest. And that's that's basically the plan. So got a lot of work to do. Hello, Rin, welcome back. I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. So the Patreon, there's going to be 2 tiers. There will be a basic, cheaper tier, which will just get you early access to things and some exclusive like Patreon only content. You'll also get access to exclusive Patreon Discord channels. And then the higher tier of Patreon support will give you unlimited access to all of my course content, as well as credits in Alchemortis. So your name will be listed in the credits for the game when it gets published. So yeah, that's I think it'll be good. I think that the top tier is going to be top tier, you know what I mean? Okay, so we can spawn the victory notice here. Andrew Bennett here hated my name and picture, so I changed it. RN Genesis. RNG Genesis? RN Genesis, that's cool. Yeah, so I'll remember. Top tier gets free quarter pounders. Okay, no. No. Okay. Well, let's see if this works. That to-do is done. Let's see if it works. Free quarter pounder, sign me up. No, no free quarter. Are you still playing the Spell Brigade? What are your final thoughts on it? Not really, no. I mean, we got a number of good hours out of it, but it does get samey after a while. But I think I would say I got maybe 10 hours of enjoyment out of it. I'm sure, I mean, I was playing it with my friend. I don't play it by myself, so I'm sure that it's just one of those games that we can return to in the future. But right now, me and my friend, we played the Battlefield 6 beta. We got hooked on that, and now the beta is not available anymore. So we bought Battlefield 2042, which is $3 on Steam right now. And we've been playing that just to hold ourselves over until Battlefield 6. Victory! This victory notice needs to have a better layer. So that button will do something and that button will do something. Okay. Node, private menu, private button, menu button. Public override void ready. Menu button dot pressed plus equals on menu button pressed. Get tree dot change scene to file. That. And then also we want to do await visual utilities dot fade out. Node private screen rect. Okay. Let's see if that much works. Oh, and it skips the menu. Let's do this. Project settings, skip menu. What? Why is it still skipping the menu? Should probably make that only appear once, but... So we've got a basic loop in place. We've got a basic loop in place. Yeah, it's great for early access. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That just shows up. To menu. Sweet. Awesome. So that's working great. We need to animate this in now. Which I will just do this. Playtest notice. Play in. We don't need to play out, so I just need to play in here. You okay, buddy? My cat made a weird nose. It's okay. I think he's fine. Eep. Don't do that. All right, let's see what that does. Oops, I didn't do it right. Here we go. Sign up for the newsletter. Interested in Patreon. Have you tried out Rider for Godot yet? I have not, no. I think that's for GDScript, right? I'm doing C#. I have used Rider for C# with my Godot projects before, but no, I haven't tried out Rider specifically for like GDScript. Okay, so we've got the loop in place. That's good. We're going to have to add the Discord link. So let me just grab that button. All right. Let's do a final test and see how that all looks. Generally speaking. Pretty sure C# also, that's my hope. Yeah, you can do, oh, well, I guess, yeah, if there are specific Godot tools for C#, that would be great. I'll have to take a look. The only Rider problem is paid subscribing for commercial projects. Yeah. I did buy a license for the C# version of Rider. But I didn't continue paying for it. I paid for 1 year. Cool. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. So now there's a complete loop with respect to the victory. There has to be a complete loop with respect to dying. Okay. Let's do one more thing here. Main menu. Private static bool is playtest notice shown. Not is playtest notice shown. Okay, let's just try that. So we're not going to show the notice multiple times. Hopefully. Cool. That works great. Okay, add victory notice. Oh wait, did I add the Discord button here? I did, okay. Cat just learned how to open doors. Uh-oh, yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Resharper is great, so my company's pays. Oh my gosh. Resharper is great, so my company pays for that. Awesome. Gotta love when you can just use those company tools, company subscriptions. Do you work on art from the beginning of your game, or do you build systems first? I do both at the same time, basically. So I'll build up a system, and then when the system is to the place where I can actually interact with it, I'll add art so I can see what it looks like when I'm using the actual art and the characters and whatnot in that system. And so I just kind of like build off of each other, basically. Nice background. Thank you, Dragon Apple. Big fan of Writer, but if you had to pay for it yourself, I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah. I mean, they should adopt, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't tell them how to run their business, but there are a lot of companies that say, oh yeah, if you're like a solo or small team, you can use it for commercial purposes. You don't have to pay us, right? And then it's like, but when you have a company that's like 20 people, then you have to pay for these enterprise licenses. I like that model because then it makes it so that I can use the tools for free. This looks really good for temporary UI. Yeah, thank you, Trayson. I appreciate that. Okay, so we added the victory. Add Discord link to the game. So this has to be main menu, victory screen. And we'll also do game over. So we'll say the game victory menu is done now. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to move this out of the way. Multiple factions. Regular army, clerical, high cultural, nobility. So I'm just doing that so I can move this stuff out of here because I'm not going to get to that for a while, and I can move this to done. Okay. I'm going to reprioritize some things here. Oops. Oops. For error messages, add text that fades in. Yeah, I want to do that. I think I fixed this. Yeah, I fixed that. Okay. Fix that as a consequence of the work that I just did. Where can I join the Discord server? It's not available yet. It's not available. There's no Patreon. There is a Patreon. There is a Discord. Like, I've set those things up, but I haven't like announced them and shared the links yet. So that'll be coming. Don't worry. You will know. You will know when it's available. You will know. I appreciate your interest for sure. I hope that people like everything that I set up with the Patreon and the Discord and everything. I think it'll be fun. It'll be very fun. Do you need to be buried, buddy? Are you cold? Gotta get a cat cam like people keep saying. Alright, what should we do now? I kind of feel like doing some more work. We're at the 2-hour mark, but I'm feeling good. Let's do some more. Maybe I should just do the tutorial screens. I don't know. For error messages, add text that fades in with noise background and fades out. I would love to do that one. So for context, this one here, I need error messages when certain things happen. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let's do this. Run manager. Turn this back up. So one problem I have with a lot of these things is like, if I go into the upgrade, for instance, you know, and I click this, so that should be outlined. If I click this, I want there to be an error message like that pops up on the screen, like add at least one card or add a card to upgrade or something. So that's what this is in reference to. I came up, or I thought of maybe a cool effect that could happen. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's upgrade the God mode. Cat cam, yeah. If you hit 100 Discord members, we can get a cat cam. I don't know. It would be difficult to set up. I would just, because the cat's on a chair right here next to me, I would just basically have to put a camera on a tripod in the middle of my room, pointed at the chair. Having a tutorial can onboard players quickly. Yeah, I think that's something I'll probably do next here. Anyway, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to die. I'm not going to die, though. Oh, wait. I forgot to remove the mutton from the board. I'm having trouble with coming up with good game ideas. Every time I start a project, I get halfway through and realize the idea was crap. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of my projects, to be honest. One thing that can help as an exercise is like choose one mechanic, like one central mechanic, and then try to make like literally everything in the game revolve around that mechanic. Like, because what you need, like, I think what I'm starting to learn, and this is just what I've learned, so take it with a grain of salt, but a lot of the times when a game is crap, it's because you're adding a lot of different things together that don't really work together. Like, a game is not just made up of a bunch of systems. Like, you can't just put an inventory system, a weapon attachment system, and an RPG stats system and expect it to make a good game. Like, those systems can't, like, those systems have to work together in a better way. And also, a lot of times when we're making games, we don't have constraints on ourselves. We're just like, it's totally greenfield, to use a software term, where it's just like, do anything you want, right? But what really helps with everything creatively, I think, is adopting constraints, like voluntarily accepting certain constraints. So in the case of Alchemortis, my constraint here is I can only use the 8 colors that are in my palette. There's no transparency, there's no nothing. And that is a forcing function that kind of forces you to think outside the box in terms of how you represent the art and how you present different information. And the same happens with game design. If you give yourself a very tight restriction or constraint, and you say, I'm only allowed to work with X, Y, and Z rules of the game, you might be surprised at how creative you can be when you're trying to expand the game in terms of what you can do in it. So anyway, I guess the point is, like, try to adopt some constraints for yourself. Don't just throw a bunch of like features in there and expect it to make a good game. Like, really focus in on like, how can I squeeze as much out of this one mechanic as possible without increasing the complexity of the game? So for like a platformer, you might come up with a game that's like only jumping, right? Like, jumping is the only thing you can do. And then, you know, if you look at Mario Brothers, right, the original Mario games, how did you engage in combat in the game? Well, you just jumped on enemies, right? I think that's a perfect example of a constraint being squeezed to its maximum potential. But again, that's just what I've learned. That's something that I'm trying to adopt more to, is like, get some constraints down and stick to those constraints. And it forces you to think outside the box. Animations are looking juicy. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, thank you. Less is more, so to speak, yeah. Design the game screen first with the art restrictions first. Metal Gear was a stealth game because their hardware constraints limited the number of enemies. There you go, see? My constraint is that I'm bad at game dev. Yeah, well, you know, that's how it goes, I guess. I'm supposed to die, but like, no one's killing me. That auto card reshuffling is so nice, if I do say so myself. Okay, can I die now? Thank you. Okay, so this screen is a problem because you don't really know what to do here. And also, there's like no way to formally end the game. So I have to figure that out. Is Godot crashing? What happened? Anyway. Remove useless print. Or you can look at Sakurai's OG Kirby Air Ride, where it's a racing game with only B button and one joystick. Yeah. Trying to get better about scope creep because that's my main killer for my personal projects. Purchased a PSX-inspired texture pack, forcing myself to make an FPS around those textures. Yeah, I really do think like that's, if you're looking for like the silver bullet solution for like anything creatively, I'm starting to think like the voluntary adoption of some very limiting constraints is like the silver bullet, which silver bullet is maybe too strong of a term because it makes it sound like it's going to be easy, but actually it's going to be harder in a lot of ways, but that's kind of the point. So that's my advice to all of you out there. I don't know. Take it or leave it, I suppose. All right. What are we going to work on here? I don't really want to do any more UI stuff. I'm kind of sick of the UI stuff, to be honest. TBH honest. It is only some of the few things that I have to do, though. But this error message stuff is going to involve some shaders, which might be cool. But again, I don't know if I really want to do that. BitJam is perfect jam to join too, since there's a 2-color only constraint. Yeah, that's great. That's a good one. Maybe I should do tutorial screens. You just did that one, the BitJam? Game is garbage because I couldn't decide on a mechanic. It goes that way sometimes. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll do like a new card or something. Potato. I kind of want to do a frog. I'm a little bit nervous though. I'm a little bit nervous that my frog is gonna suck. How many 2x... I need to write a script to tell me what my distribution of different card types is. Do I have a... How many 2x1 cards do I have? Your frog gonna be beautiful, do it. All right. All right, let's do a frog. I think I'm gonna make it a 2x1 though. And I'm gonna make it like it's a stretched out, like it's a mid jump or like it's being stretched over like a dissection table, you know? Let's see what happens. Or a 1x2, I mean. Yeah, 1x2. Let's see what happens. I might make it like a poison dart frog, actually. I was fascinated with those when I was a kid. This is already not working that well, but that's okay. Okay. I don't think it's looking bad necessarily. Problem is I don't know where to put the feet. Wonder if I could just get away with doing something like this. That looks a little bit more reasonable. Long frog, yeah. Long frog. I remember dissecting a frog in high school and had a cockroach in its belly. Ew. Belly with an EY. Poison dart frog is inherently venomous. It depends on what they eat. Captive ones are safe to lick. Or saw a hood somewhere, don't quote me. Yeah, that sound. I mean, that I heard that too. I don't know if it's right. Thick frog. Now the question is, how am I going to do the eyes? Well, probably not like that. can't make its head too pointy. That'll work. Maybe. Nope. Frogs are cool. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Frogs are cool. Man, I don't know. It's really hard to draw a frog from the top down. Apparently. Apparently. That can work. Nope, it's not working. It's not working. How about bottom up and have them opened up? I don't have enough room for that, I don't think. The head is really the only problem. Oh my gosh, why do I have to click 40 times to look at the image? Do I need to make the head smaller? Let's redo the head. Goodbye. I'm having flashbacks. Flashbacks to trying to draw frogs as a child. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer too. It's a disaster. Oh, maybe not. Dude, these two pixels make it look too pointy and these pixels make it look too round. Oi. That seems a little bit more reasonable, maybe. I think the eyes are too big. I have the same problem though. I can't make the eyes any bigger. Well, maybe I can do this. That does not look like a frog at all. Oh my gosh. How in the heck are you supposed to draw frogs? They're undrawable. I'm declaring it now. Frogs are undrawable. It's not possible. I mean, that looks okay, I suppose. Are we gonna lick some frogs? Ribbit. 2 round is better than 2 pointy, yeah. Oh, that's better. What are you actually using a sprite preview tab for? I've seen people using it, but it always seems useless to me. Oh, it's just so that you can see it at a smaller scale. You get a more representative example of what the art looks like. Because if you're super zoomed in, it can look kind of bad, but when you're seeing it like as it would be in the game, you can you maybe can get a little bit more of an accurate read on it. You know what I mean? Stop jumping to conclusions. It's more zoomed out view. Yeah. Yep. That's all good. All right. I think it's okay. I think it's looking all right. Now, I thought I was going to make this a poison dart frog, but maybe that's not going to be possible. Maybe that's not going to be possible. Unless I made it just darker overall. It'd be too dark, though. I could use this color. And red. And maybe... It just looks not so good. I don't know about the eyes. That's the thing. Maybe that's better. Oh, there we go. I think that looks fine. I'm going to do a little bit of work here just to make it look like the light is coming from a particular direction a little bit more. I'm just playing around with the shading now, really. I wonder if I should just make this whole hand darker. Move the arms up a little bit. I think the torso maybe just needs to be a little bit bigger. This is a good example of limitations making things easier and harder in different ways. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you gather any reference? I did look at a reference. Mood board about frogs? Oh, I can't be bothered with that. That's too... Why would I spend a bunch of time setting up a mood board? I mean, it's a good suggestion, but I just don't. I've never found mood boards or anything like that useful. If I need a reference, I'll just go to Google Images, look at it, and then try it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but other times it's all right. Anyone else notice that when he's super locked in, he doesn't blink? I think that's everyone that uses a computer, honestly. I don't think I'm unique in that. Feet look fantastic at native scale. Thank you. I think it's probably okay. I think the hands here are a little bit weird, but I can't really do much about these because I have to leave a 1 pixel border here. Well, I mean, maybe this is quit while I'm ahead territory. Yeah, probably quit while I'm ahead territory here. How are we feeling? Is it looking okay? Let me just play around with this a little bit. It definitely looks like a frog. Well, that's good. I think he's just bored of them, yeah. He said the thing, quit while I'm ahead. Would you say you were not in the mood for a mood board? I would say that, yeah. I would say that. I'm just not big on documentation or throwing mood boards together. Or it's always been just like too much time, too much effort. I think that's okay. It's looking good. I think it's recognizable. Okay, recognizable is about as good as I can hope for right now. So that's good. All right. Cool, cool. Here's what I'm going to do. Project. Oh, no. Let's create the resource. Well, let's commit it first. Maybe we'll just give it a simple poison. I don't think the frog needs to necessarily do anything super... Although we'll give it... Here's what we'll do. 20% crit chance. No. We'll do something weird. Actually, let me look at something. .05 crit chance, 2.0 crit multiplier, alchemical minion. Actually, maybe we'll just make it alchemical. This is a 1/2 frog. We'll leave it at 10. Is flippable. Okay. Frog.cs. Frog. New simple poison. 4. Cool. All right. So now, any day now, project settings, add element frog. Mood boards are basically digital scrapbooking. It seems better suited for a teenage girl. 20% chance to move up a pixel and then back down. Okay. No, I think mood boards can be helpful if you're like on a design team and stuff. I've definitely seen them used in like software, the software world. But so the frog has a 5% crit chance and a 2 times crit multiplier, which means that it's a good alchemical ingredient if you want to mix and match them. But I just want to make sure that it works. Cool. All right, that's working great. All right, well, that's it. That'll be it for the stream today. I'm glad that we got at least some extra stuff done. So that card will be in the playtest now. And let's see. So yeah, that'll be it for the stream. Like I said, again, you can wishlist Alchemortis. It's linked in the first link in the description below, first line in the description below, I should say. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. So if you're interested in those, definitely check those out. I would appreciate it if you would do that. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos. All the ways you can support me are linked in the description below. Playtest getting froggy. Yeah, we're almost there. Gonna do some more work on this tonight, obviously. Trying very hard to get the playtest build ready to go. So yeah, it'll be ready sooner rather than later. Thank you, Dusty, and have a good day as well to everyone. And yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, the usual time. So hope to see you there. And yeah, bye-bye.